Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are the Batman. My name is Mike.
And this is Matthew.
And so we recently did an episode requested by a listener asking us to break down top 5 episodes of Batman the Animated Series. And we did that. It wasn't in any particular ranking order. It was just 5 episodes we thought were the best ones to watch to get into the show. And it was a lot of fun. So we thought, let's tackle some of the other animated stuff. And today we're going to be doing the top 5 Justice League episodes. To be clear, this is just when the show was called Justice League. This does not include Justice League Unlimited. We'll save that for another time. But this one was a little more interesting to do, I think, because every episode of this show is a two-parter.
Correct. So you don't get as many choices per se, but it did have 2 of its own seasons. And I do have to go on the record that say if we had included everything, I don't know if I would have included any episodes from the first 2 seasons because there are such fantastic stories in the 3rd and 4th seasons.
Yeah. When it goes to Justice League Unlimited, it gets like the first and the 2 seasons of Justice League are very good, but Justice League Unlimited is awesome. And so, yeah, I think it's probably best for us to split the atom a little bit here. Plus, it gives us a chance to have another episode idea in the back burner later on. But yeah, it's kind of like when we were talking about Batman the Animated Series, how when you get into the eventual redesign of the show, when it becomes the new Batman Adventures with Tim Drake, Robin, it's hard to pick the best episodes because all the best episodes have nothing to do with Batman in that particular run. So this was a cool way to acknowledge both versions of it, because there are still some good ones in this particular version of the show.
Yeah, and it's actually kind of funny because the way they set it up, even though Justice League Unlimited, I think, goes farther with it, is Batman's not always there. Sometimes some of the League members aren't there at all.
Mm-hmm.
And more often than not, Batman is not around, which I thought was very interesting because it's pretty obvious Batman is Bruce Timm's favorite character.
Yeah, and it was a good idea to do that because it prevents the show from just becoming another Batman show. It's a chance for you to really explore, because even when you look up the episode guide on Wikipedia, it breaks down which characters are not present in a particular episode. Sometimes it's 2 or 3. And yeah, Batman's probably the one that's the most not present, because again, it's like we already had 3 different versions of Batman the animated series and Batman Beyond, and this is a continuation. This is a continuation of that universe. This is still set within the same universe as Bruce Timm's Batman the Animated Series, just, moving further on from that. So yeah, it helps it avoid it being another Batman show.
Correct. Now, is Secret Origins one of your episodes? That's your top 5?
No, it is not.
Okay. Well, then I will talk about this. One of my favorite moments in the entire show is at the end of the Origin one, and they're made the tower, they're doing all this stuff, and Batman's just like, they're like, you gotta join the team. And he's like, no, but if you ever need me, and you will, call me. And you're just like, you are such a prick.
He is, and it comes up. I mean, because it's a long established thing in Justice League, not just the show, but in general, that Batman's a part timer. He is not a full time member of the Justice League. They even make reference to it in Batman Beyond when they invite him to join their Justice League, and they're like, "Yeah, the original Batman never went above part time," and it comes up in other episodes of this show as well, particularly later on in Unlimited. So like Secret Origins has some great moments in it. Like I also love the moment when he jumps out, when he ejects from the bat plane, and he's just like, Batman to all hands, I'm falling, I could use someone to grab me, I can't fly.
Yeah.
So he kind of keeps going, like, now would be great, soon would be really good, everybody. And like he's just like, guys,
yeah,
guys, falling, still falling.
Bueller.
No, it's a great episode, but it ultimately did not make my 5. Also, because like, okay, like full disclosure, it's a very good episode. Secret Origins is a fantastic introduction to this group. So for that reason alone, I think it's kind of a cheat to say, oh, this is one of the episodes you should watch to get into it. It's like, it's the first episode. Of course you should watch the first episode. Like, that kind of goes without saying. But as far as just entertaining episodes that have great stories and great writing in them, I think that's the ones we decided to go with.
Yes, exactly. Are any of yours from the first season? Do you have a
One or
mix?
two. I think so. I got a mix. Actually, let me double check because I'm not sure. I think all mine might be from season 2. Shoot, I didn't mean to do that. Oh no, I think all of mine are from season 2.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Oh God, I didn't do that on purpose. Wow.
Well, and I
Okay.
think what it is like there's 2 or 3 episodes that like I had 7 listed as like these are the
Mhm.
ones I like. And then the more I kind of went, nope. So the 2 I actually cut are both from the first season. If memory serves. Let's
Let me
see.
double check. Oh no, I do have one from season 1.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Well
I
then
do have one.
let's play with.
Yeah.
Now, did you put them in like favorite to least favorite? Did you do anything? I didn't
Mine
necessarily.
are in. I have 2 from season 1. Okay, I have. These are not in any particular order.
Okay. Well, then let's go with it. What's your first on your list?
The first on my list is interesting because it introduces a member of the Justice League who we really don't see again until it becomes Justice League Unlimited. And that's The Enemy Below, which is the Aquaman episode.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes, yes.
Is that on yours?
It is not
No,
on mine.
you're all season 2. No, I thought it was just because, again, like, Aquaman has always kind of been a joke, and yes, like in the 90s he went heavy metal and had the long hair and the armor and all that. And but in the cartoons it had always just been goofy orange and green Aquaman. So they were like, no, let's do the serious version of Aquaman on this. And it's a dark episode. I mean, he cuts his hand off. He
Yeah.
cuts his hand off in this, and gets his hook. I mean, it's a cool telling of the Aquaman story, and very similar to like how it is with Batman, where he's like, "No, I'm good." And Aquaman's kind of the same way. He's just like, "Hey, you know what? You made an ally out of me. I'm not joining your softball team though."
Yeah. Yeah. This is one like because like they even though they were all two parters, they didn't ever play by themselves. They played as two parters, at least when I was watching it on
Yeah.
television.
Oh, they
So
absolutely did.
it's kind of funny too. Is like if this is pre DVDs and all that stuff. Like if you didn't see it, you didn't see it. And like reading the description of this one, I think I've watched it once. So I may need to go back and rewatch this one because I have very little memory of this episode, especially when you said cut his hand off. I was like, wait, what? I don't remember
Yeah.
that. So maybe I need to go back to this one.
Yeah. Orm kidnaps Aquaman's son and has the two of them like chained to a rock that's slowly descending into an underwater lava vein. And Aquaman's trying to get them loose. He's trying to break the chain and he can't break it off. He's got like, so at the last second he cuts his hand off to get free of the chain so he can save his son. And he gets the hook on his hand.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, it gets dark. It gets dark for a kids show, and this is only 6 episodes. Well, technically 3 episodes because it's 2-parters. So it's 3 or 6 episodes, however you want to count it, into the show. So
Well, because the difference with Superman show and the Batman shows is that Justice League came on Cartoon Network, so they were
yeah,
not dealing with any of the guidelines, any of the it's got to be PG or it's got to
not
be
as
for kids.
many. It was still on a children's network, but it was. But yeah, for those who don't know, when you're on broadcast network television versus cable television, you can get away with a little bit more. And then also, I think this was an evening show,
Yes,
so it's
yes,
still it still had even a little bit more leeway as opposed to like your kids WB Saturday morning cartoons. This was a cable evening show, so it was still for kids, but they weren't holding this tight a leash.
Yeah, it was more. It was like young adult, like I would say, is like it. It kids could watch
Yeah.
it, but there was definitely a lot in there that was a little more mature for mature
Oh
watchers, which
yeah.
is fine. It's perfect. I loved it.
Well, it's because of this, and I'm not the biggest fan of Young Justice, but it shows like this that let us get to things like Young Justice because this is before Teen Titans was on, which even because even the first run of Teen Titans was kind of that way too. It was a little dark.
No, no, Teen Titans is going on at the same time because this also
Is it?
overlaps with the Batman.
Oh, that's right. Was Teen Titans going on at this point?
Yes, because Teen Titans starts in '99, 2000. The Batman starts in 2003, and it's not until 2000, like 7 or 8, when I'm sorry, 2004. I mean 2006, 7, when Teen Titans is over, that Robin finally gets to be in the Batman cartoon.
Okay,
So
so I got it pulled up here. So Justice League started in 2001. Uh, Teen Titans started in 2003.
is it really? I thought they were
Yeah,
going. Maybe it's
2003 to
because it's
2006.
Unlimited. Unlimited's going on while Teen Titans is.
Well, we'll see. Well, season two of Justice League started the same year as Teen Titans because season two of Justice League was in 2003.
There you go.
So
Yeah. So
anyway,
they're.
but none of this matters. So this
Yes,
is
very much.
the enemy below the Aquaman episode. It's all about basically if you've seen the Aquaman movie, it's kind of similar in that it's his brother Orm trying to take over Atlantis so that he can lead a revolt against the surface. The difference is in this one, Aquaman's already been king and he's married to Mira and got a kid. So it's still that kind of that heavy metal Aquaman type thing that was really popular in the 90s.
Yes. Yes.
All right, what's your first one?
My first one is A Better World.
I have that one as well. That's from season 1.
Is it? No, I thought that was from season 2.
Is it from season 2?
It's
Oh, I'm thinking of a different one. Yes, that's from
yeah,
season 2.
better. Yeah, Better World is when the Lex Luthor, the Superman. What is it? He basically like not kills him, but he
He
what is it
lobotomed. Oh no,
called?
he kills him.
Yeah, he lobotomizes him, and then they become basically the crime syndicate or Squadron Supreme, whatever version of the comic you read, where they
I think
take
in
over
this one
the
they're the
world.
crime syndicate.
Yeah,
Or no. In this
they're
one they're
called the
still called
Justice Lords.
Justice Lords. Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm just saying, like the Crime Syndicate and Squadron Supreme from Marvel do the same thing, where the heroes take over the world
Yeah.
to make it a better place.
Yeah, because this episode is an alternate universe from
Yes.
ours. It crosses over.
So it's pretty interesting to see like um them come across, and it's like it's always fun to me when you see you know it's that whole, and again Justice does it years later, of it just takes that little click to put something, one little thing askew, and then it's like now the longer that goes, the farther away from the path you go. So the
Yeah.
Justice Lords are basically like they killed Lex Luthor, and then like, oh, okay, so now um we're gonna do this, and we're gonna lobotomize everybody, and we're gonna make the world a better place. But in doing so, they themselves become the villains.
Yeah.
And
No, go ahead.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say because it's a this is one of the times in the show where we really get to explore the dynamic of the team as well because of how much it involves Flash.
Yeah,
How much he was because he kind of feels like, who am I? Like I'm amongst everybody else in the Justice League. And they find out that the reason that this alternate Justice League went dictator um is because their Flash died. And they were like, no, 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 we're not going to have this. And it's kind of an interesting moment for Flash where he's like, would you guys really do that because of me? And Batman's like, probably.
yeah. Yeah, there's a reason why they did it. They're pretty much us.
Yeah.
But I also
Well,
like that there
go
was
ahead.
Well, like one seeing what that looks like, but also like the character designs of the Justice Lords are just awesome because each one of them changes their costume
Yeah.
and just seeing like
Batman's Batman's just like the negative version of itself.
yeah, yeah.
Like
I like
what was gray is now black, and what was black is now gray.
and I liked Superman's because his is completely different.
His is
Uh,
great.
but it's also like this is it does get into like what power can corrupt absolutely if you allow it. And this is just the prime example of that.
Absolutely. It's it's just such a because yeah, again, like you said earlier, this is not the first time, and it wouldn't be the last time we had seen this story of what if the Justice League invoked their wrath on the entire world. But it was the first time I think we had seen it done like in something mainstream, because like it had been done in the comics, and like Injustice was still several years away, but this is
Well,
the
and
first time that like a mainstream kid show
there's an
tackles
episode of
it.
Superman that's similar to this, but even then, he's not total villain. He just becomes more like a monarch. They're just straight out villains. I mean, people are
Yeah,
revolting against them. There's they're just all more evil than they have been. It's really is fantastic. I love the look of them, the storyline, seeing the Justice League try to like, hey, we'll try and fake like we're these guys and fail miserably.
well, and you know from jump that you're in that something's off, because at the beginning it looks like any other Justice League episode. Their costumes are the same. They're attacking the White House where Luther's president, and first you're kind of like, oh, this is a thing, and you're not sure where it's going, and then you watch Superman straight up kill him, and you're like, whoa, 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 wait, and then Batman walks in the room and says it needed to be done, and that's immediately when you go, oh, something's not right here, something's off.
That's
And
right,
then
because
they
Wonder
ask,
Woman's like, oh my gosh, yeah,
and Superman's like, I liked it, and I was like, and you just know, like, oh, this is something different. Okay.
yeah,
um it's a great way to tell that story.
yeah. I love this episode, and just the design itself is just off the chart. So yeah, that's one of mine. Go ahead. What's your other one? Some
Next one I got, so that was a better world. So then I've got Legends.
It's an honorable mention. It was the one that like I was so close, but yeah, it's so
And
good.
I don't know if the part of this is because this is the episode where it's Flash and Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter and Hawk Girl basically go to this AU, this alternate universe, where it's the Justice Guild of
Yes.
America, who are basically just the Justice Society. It's
Yeah.
all it is. And it's the who's on the team? It's their version of Green Lantern.
Hold on, I'm gonna look
And
up Justice.
I know
Guild
it
of
doesn't have it listed in front of me on the wiki, so I don't know off the top of my head. I'm drawing a blank here.
I'm pulling it up. Give me a second. I'm almost there.
Oh, I got it. Okay. So you've got
Oh yeah,
Streak, who is their
Streak,
version of Flash.
the Black Siren,
Cat.
which is
Yeah.
Black Canary, Catman, who
Yeah.
is Wildcat, the Green Guardsman, which
Basically.
is
Yeah.
the Alan Scott version of Green Lantern. Tom Turbine, I guess, is essentially Red Tornado.
Yeah.
Or is he Atom Smasher? I can't remember which one he's supposed to be.
Something like that. Yeah. He's a little bit of both.
And then Ray Thompson, who's their mascot.
Yeah. That's all he is. He's just their who's, by the way, is voiced by Neil Patrick Harris in the episode, which is
Nice.
very funny. But you know why it's a cool episode is because Green Lantern spends most of the episode fanboying, particularly over Green Guardsman, and that's just kind of fantastic. It's
Yes.
a very fun episode. It's lighthearted. It was also dedicated to Gardner Fox, who was one of the writers behind the JSA and the Justice League. Um, he had passed away, and so they dedicated the episode to him. It's a fun episode. It's a lot of fun, and it takes the campiness just to the other side of the line where it's still a lot of fun.
Well, and it also the twist that we won't give away is that the campiness is there for a reason.
Oh yeah,
Do you, do
that's a
you,
good point. Yeah, the
yeah.
reason why it's so campy is excellent. It is excellent plot device, and yeah, this is one if you want a reason, because it's a serious show, but this episode is just it's a lot to laugh at, and so that's yeah, it's a good one to just sit back, especially if you got kids. You want to watch it with your kids. This is a good one to watch with your kids.
Yes, definitely, definitely. All right,
All right, what you got?
my next one is Wild Cards. That is the episode where the Joker hires the Royal Flush Gang to
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
fight the
yeah.
Justice League, and they're in Vegas, and they've got the bombs hidden all over the city, and there's like a timer the whole time. It's such a fantastic episode, very meta because all of the Royal Flush Gang are voiced by the Teen Titans voice actors.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny in that. But it's just a cool episode. Really, really cool episode. And pardon me. And I just like the timer aspect of it. You get Joker back, which is always good. And then just to see, like, I don't know how to say, but like seeing the Justice League be put to through their paces by this other villain team is always a
Yeah.
lot of fun. And them trying to like, okay, we've finished that. Oh no, these dudes came back and now we're doing this. And you're just like, oh my gosh, come on, guys.
Well, and
So
the Royal Flush Gang is such a I love the Royal Flush Gang, all iterations of it. It's one what's so cool about the Royal Flush Gang is it's a rogues group that you can do just about anything with,
yes,
between the versions that already exist or just coming up with your own. Even Arrow did a version of the Royal Flush Gang just a different interpretation of it that was actually pretty neat. It's one that I wish they would use more. I love the version of it that's in Batman Beyond too, but this version of it, what's great about this episode is that it sets up for one of my favorite Batman moments that happens in my least favorite episode of another show, which we'll talk about, I'm sure, when we get to that show.
yes,
But this, yeah, I, this was one of the ones I had to cut. I felt so bad about it because it's the Royal Flush Gang and I love them, but it just didn't quite make the cut.
yeah, yeah. I just something about it was just one of those. Sometimes you see an episode or you see a thing that the pacing of the show is so on the nose. It's just enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about this. It's just on it every single thing. So
Well,
there we go.
what's funny is there's a hidden crossover with the Teen Titans in this episode. Do you know what it is?
I just said it. They're voice actors.
I know, I'm kidding.
I was like, look, if you really want to go into rewinding,
I'm gonna steal your thunder. There's secret because usually I'm the one who has like the little hidden facts and stuff, and so I was like, oh, I was gonna bring that up, and he brought it up. No, screw it, I'm gonna bring it up this time. um, no, but in all honesty, like I do love this video, this episode. And again, it's a neat way, again, because it's Bruce Timm and Batman's absent from a lot of episodes. And even though Joker's in this one, he's not the main focus,
yeah,
which is just again him saying, "Yeah, my stuff's still here, but I want to play with other ideas."
yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
All right, brother. What's yours? What's yours? What's yours?
so my next one is Wild Cards. I'm kidding. Um, so my next one's a little weird, but there's a reason behind it. It's Comfort and Joy,
It's an honorable mention.
the
It is a
Christmas episode from
it,
season 2.
it is a fantastic episode.
It is a superhero Christmas special, guys. I don't know what else I need to say. We get to watch Superman behave like a 5-year-old because he loves Christmas so much. He's introducing Martian Manhunter to the concept of Christmas for the first time. We get to see, excuse me, the Flash down at the orphanage. We get to see Green Lantern and Hawk Girl just like having a snowball fight, which is adorable. And then she takes him to a bar in space. I was like, let's go fight some dudes. and then you get Batman just being Batman. He's like, I'm just gonna stay at the office. I'm good. I'm all right. Just gonna hang out here. You guys go have fun.
Yeah.
Because it's Batman.
Yeah. I think this is one of those, and I'm sorry, like the Green Lantern Hot Girl, I would have rather seen Batman and Wonder Woman doing something than those two.
Yeah.
That's the week. That was probably why it didn't go into the thing. But you are correct. Martian Manhunter going to the Kents with Superman, and that him singing at the end. Like every
Yeah.
time, it always gets me when the dad goes, and he said he didn't bring anything, and I'm like, oh, you get me, you got me, you got me on
Plus,
that one.
I just love that his parents have wrapped the presents in lead lined wrapping paper because they know he's gonna snoop.
Yeah,
I love Superman trying to X-ray his Christmas presents, or when his parents are like, he'd open the gifts we got him, and Superman would go, "You mean the gifts Santa got me?" It's like, oh, damn, Superman, you are still just all about the Christmas magic, and I kind of love it.
of anybody, it would be him. But yeah,
It
but and
would be.
then the Ultra Humanite Flash storyline is why the Flash is amazing.
Oh my god, I know. Oh my god. Oh, oh. I just Ultra Humanite is one of those. He's only in like 2 or 3 episodes of this show and Unlimited, and he is just great. I
Yes.
don't. He's for a villain. I get so because I love his and I don't think either of us have. I don't, but you might. But um, his episode in season 1 with the Injustice Gang, and how he just wants to watch opera. That's all he wants to do.
Yes.
And in this one, where he's like, "Oh yeah, no, you're working with an orphanage." It's like, dude, I'm a talking gorilla, but I'm not a monster. Let me help you.
Yeah. Yeah. I have my own agenda, but it's not to hate children.
Yeah. I just want money and to watch opera. I don't want to ruin a kid's Christmas. Like,
Yeah.
it's a great. It's yeah. This I thought about taking this one off to make room for wild cards, but I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Hey, it like I said, it's one of those. It's that's the only thing is the Green Lantern Hot Girl stuff does not land for me. But I'm
Yeah.
also like a weird not fan of their relationship. You know?
Well, and they were building that one at the same time they were also building the Batman Wonder Woman one in the same show. And I think there's a reason why when it goes into Unlimited, they abandon Green Lantern and Hot Girl and shift it more to Batman and Wonder Woman, even though ultimately it doesn't go anywhere. But I also think that what Batman says in a later episode is true, which is dating within the league gets messy.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea.
All right, so are we on me now?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm trying to decide how to go. I'm
I've
gonna
only
go.
got one left because you had one of mine. So
Yeah. Okay. So I've got Twilight, which is the
I
opener
didn't
of the
pick it.
second season.
Nah, I didn't pick it.
I the
It's
thing I
fine.
one I like it because it's a continuation of one of the episodes. It's the first time, and I think the only time that a storyline from one of the pre-existing cartoons is run through the Justice League.
Yeah, because it continues from the World's Finest movie.
No. This continues from there's like a 2 or 3 parter in the Superman cartoon when Apocalypse comes to Earth. and what
Oh,
happens, and that
oh,
he
that episode. Okay, I was thinking of something from season one. Okay,
no,
I get. Yes. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, 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 yeah. This
yes,
is the second. This is the second time because in season one, when they do the Injustice episode, they directly refer back to the World's Finest movie because when Joker gets involved, and Luther's like, no, 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 we're not doing this again. Um,
yeah, yeah, that's kind of a reference. This is actually a continuation of this story because
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're
Superman's
right.
like, I'm not gonna do this. I hate this guy, and he just like beats a crap out of him when he shows up, and Batman's like, he took over your mind. He brainwashed you. He made you do things you didn't want to do. Get over it.
Oh yeah, Superman is ready to straight up murder Darkseid.
Yeah. Did I say Apocalypse earlier? Dark Side, whatever. Point
Oh,
being,
the planet is Apocalypse.
there we go. But I also did like the whole weird story idea of, even though it ends up being a ruse, of a villain asking heroes to help him fight an even more powerful villain.
Especially when you consider that that other villain is Brainiac,
Yeah,
and like that's scary.
yeah. So I like this. It really does kind of open up that. I I really wish there would have been more with the new gods, but it was fine. You know what I mean? Like whatever.
Yeah, especially Orion because we had met Orion in the Superman series, and he's there for that story arc involving Darkseid, and then he just kind of goes away.
Yeah, and then they never come back. You see them a little bit here and there, but you have these
Yeah.
great characters, and they don't even. I was hoping that they would be around for Justice League Unlimited, and they really don't show up again.
Orion's in one episode, and that's it.
Yeah,
Voiced by Ron Perlman of all people. But
yeah,
yeah, he's got
randomly being a hero.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, he's in one episode of Unlimited, but I don't think he does anything.
No, he's like standing there, or it's that finale where they show everybody fighting, but nobody talks.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, yeah, that's mine. I love
All
that
right.
episode.
No, it was good. It was just one of those. It was just kind of like whenever they do like Dark and Brainiac and these kind of like these godlike, you know, it's like to me the Darkseid and Brainiac should not be like one-off villains. It's like to me, Brainiac is like a Thanos level event. Darkseid is like a Thanos level event. They shouldn't just be an episode, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
That's fair.
all right. So I only got one more, and that is it's from season two, and it is called Only a Dream.
Oh, good one, right there.
Yeah. It's the sleepy Batman episode.
Yes.
Because it's what it is you've got Dr. Destiny who's basically putting everyone to sleep, and Batman's just trying to stay awake. And you get him like driving in the Batmobile and like cranking up like a hard rock radio station, and he stops at a coffee shop and orders a double espresso with puts some change on the counter. The guy turns around and just like, oh my god, Batman's buying coffee right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. There's like, this is one of those episodes where there's a couple episodes I almost went with, but I'm like, okay, do I like the whole thing, or is there just like a really cool moment? And I
I get
think,
what you mean. I think for you it was just the moment.
yeah, yeah, it was just like there was like that cool moment of Batman, but you know but yeah, but it's still like, just saying that these are my five that I like doesn't mean I don't like any of the other ones. Like they're all great
Sure.
episodes. But yeah, that was my only thing. Is it's just like, yeah, no, these, I think I like these full stories better. But it's a cool storyline.
Well, for me, it's also because it's Doctor Destiny who's a very cool villain. I like Doctor Destiny a lot, and the idea of weaponizing sleep
Yeah.
is so terrifying. Like the idea that because it's like the Freddy Krueger thing. It's like the idea that going to sleep could be used against me. I love to sleep. Trust me, I love to sleep. My bed is very comfortable. So the idea that that could be used against me is terrifying.
Yeah, and I also like that, what's it called? Because it's ultimately him just finding Dr. Destiny sleeping or something like that right at the end. Like it's not even like once he finds him, there's more of a threat. It's like, oh, okay, I'm here. I'm done. Found him. So
Got
I
it.
yeah, let me just bonk him. Sweet, we're done. Bonk him in the head, not sleep with him. Anyway.
Right. But also, and as I've said many times, if it can make me laugh, it's already 2/3 of the way there. And this episode makes me laugh a lot. So it got a win for me. But again, these are just the ones I think you're gonna have the best time watching. All right, Matt. So what because you got two left, right?
Technically, yes.
Technically,
We
yes. Oh,
shared one.
because we did share one. That's right. Okay, so what else you got?
My other one is the Secret Society episode, and it's basically the season 2 Injustice Gang or whatever it was called.
Oh
Where
yeah.
yeah, this is where Grodd organizes secret society. It's Giganta, Killer Frost, Sinestro, Parasite, Shade, and Clayface, and it's just part of this that I think is really cool. Is this the one where the Justice League starts questioning whether they can be a team?
Right.
So you have that moment of like, is Grodd doing this to them, or was it already there? And it has you
Right.
have that
Yeah.
great moment where Green Lantern's like, "We need to train more," and Batman shows up and like throws all these batarangs and destroys everything, and he's like, "Call me when you actually need me," and he leaves. It's like, yee, Batman's not happy, but it just has a couple really cool moments, like when Batman shows up and the Flash is there, and he's like, "Yo, what's the matter, yo?" And then he hits him with the batarang. He's like, "You overplayed the part, yo."
I
So
also
yeah,
love this is the one where like Batman's cornered and he's just like they're like you didn't bring any help and they come in and he's like, "Oh wait, I did."
yeah. And he opens the garage door and all the Justice League are there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. It's a great episode, and it's one of the very few in these first 2 seasons that has everybody.
Yeah, they're
Almost
all there.
everybody's there. There's like Better World, of course, everybody's there. But yeah, this is one of those rare ones where the entire team is there doing their thing, and yeah, I just think it's a cool episode. Grodd is one of those villains. I love his arc in the 4th season, when he's doing the what are they called, the Legion of Doom. Yeah, it's just yeah, this whole thing is cool. Sinestro is always fun. Clayface, why not? Like it's just has a lot of cool stuff, and you really
Love
get to
Clayface.
see yeah how these guys work together, how they don't work together, and it's just something in my mind of like look, just because you're a team doesn't mean everybody gets along and it's all roses and fun. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is one of those. And then
Well,
when the fact that he turns, you know, no, that's the other one. That's not this one. I'll say the other one is when the he tricks the girl into like falling for him.
oh,
But that
Cheetah,
was
yeah, when
that was the other one.
he rolled a nat 20 on his charisma. It's funny you mentioned that this is one of the few ones where they're all together because for here on out in season 2, with the exception of the Christmas episode, because Batman and Wonder Woman aren't actually seen in the episode. For the rest of the season, everybody's in every episode
Yeah.
because they kind of get their shit together as far as the teamwork things go. Because even Superman's like, I work better alone, and it's like, okay, Superman, stop trying to be Batman. But for the rest of the season, everybody's in every episode.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, it's this is again one of those where like the writing is on point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these shows don't like you can have the coolest action scenes in the world, but if the characters aren't right and the stories aren't there to support the characters, it's just fluff. So an episode like this, even though it has some great action, getting into that, seeing what these characters are like and how they interact and how they don't interact, Batman, I just think it's fantastic.
Ah, uh, Batman. Um, yeah, man.
There we go. All right, you ready for
Yeah,
my last one?
yeah. What do you got?
My last one is Maid of Honor. And this
Which
is the
one's
one. Maid of Honor is when Wonder Woman gets kind of like not kidnapped, but like, hey, come party with me with the princess of that Maida
Oh yeah.
Kazakhstan or whatever. And that's at the
Just
same whatever. And that's the one where this Kosnia, it's Kosnia, not Kazakhstan.
Kazuya,
What am I?
yeah.
Kosnia. And then as they're doing that, Batman is chasing down Kaznian mercs, and you get that whole weird, like, this is the one that cements that there is something going on between Batman and Wonder Woman.
Yeah, because we had in season 1 with Gorilla City, where there's that
Yeah.
moment where the thing crab Batman's trying to dig Wonder Woman out because he thinks she's been crushed, and it's like, dude, it's Wonder Woman. She can handle it. But okay. um, but I think this is also the only time in Justice League in the first 2 seasons where we see Bruce Wayne. He's always just Batman.
Yeah. You see, like in the finale, as a disguise, he becomes Bruce Wayne. But even then, yeah, it's not up until the point you hadn't seen him at all as Bruce Wayne.
Right, because in the finale, which is the Thanagarian thing, is where Batman does the whole where they're like, well, what about our secret identities? And Batman's like Wally West, Clark Kent, and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is
Like,
still, again, one of my favorite moments in the show is where Batman's just like, I know who all of you are. Shut up.
stop helping.
I love that. I love that so much.
But this is the one, like, I'm gonna tell you some underlying stuff after a moment, but like something about Wonder Woman and Batman being together, like it's one of those things I was like, that is so perfect. That
Yeah.
make perfect sense. That is it shouldn't be Wonder Woman and Superman. It should be the two of them. And I think that it's fantastic. It's it does get into some really good storytelling. I really wish they would have leaned into it more.
Yeah.
They played with it and they kind of dismiss it. I kind of, I don't know if somebody came up after, you know what I mean? Like maybe somebody was like, okay, you can't have Batman and Wonder Woman be together, because it is kind of like it gets really leaned into in the finale of this season, but then it's mentioned once or twice in Justice League Unlimited, but it is so just gone.
Yeah. The last time it comes up is in Justice League Unlimited, and we may or may not talk about that episode whenever we do Justice League Unlimited. But
I'm sure we will.
yeah,
I
one
mean,
of us is going to put that on the list. I'm going to tell you that right now,
well,
at
I know
least.
it, 100% one of us is you for sure, but I have to review because it's got your boy in it. So I'm sure.
It's does it have him in it?
Yeah, because the second episode is when they go to the future.
Oh, I'm not talking about that episode.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the one when they go into time and he's like, she's a great teammate and she's standing right behind me.
Oh, I'm wrong. I thought that was from a different. Okay, never mind. I mean, we'll talk about that on another episode. Um, yeah, no. Maid of Honor. Yeah, I remember this episode too because this is the one where Wonder Woman's dancing with Bruce Wayne at this
Yes.
event or whatever, and then just yeah, the flirt is strong with this one.
Yes. Yes. I've just had to come into town for a couple days to take care of a couple things, And you get that great moment. I think we mentioned it the last time of like, I know you can't understand me, but I will never tell you what you want to know. I can understand you, and you will tell me what I want to know. And you're like, oh God, that dude's dead.
Oh, he is dead.
Not only did he tell Batman all of his secrets of his own, but he told the things that Batman wanted to know. But yeah, no, I think it's a really cool story. It's really cool to see them doing their thing. Like you said, the flirtation is through the roof, and then
Mhm.
to have at the end the whole like, well, you'll have to take me dancing sometime. I don't know what you're talking about. Uh-huh. You're just like, yeah,
Right.
okay, guys.
It's
but
great.
but honestly, like the big thing with this is that my wife was a big fan of the show. So she got into this show before she got into comic books.
Oh, wow.
So she really liked the Wonder Woman Batman thing. So we had a joke for a while that she was Wonder Woman, I was Batman, which is now hilarious that we both cosplay those characters. But whatever.
That's funny.
So,
Well,
all right.
I mean, that's honestly that's a great way of telling you though, because I think that happened for a lot of kids. I think a lot of kids watched this show and watched Teen Titans and then read the comics. I think that happened for a lot of the current generation, especially with the movies.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell you how many people have told me that they've started reading comics after seeing the movies in the MCU or after seeing a DC movie that they liked. Like, yeah, that's kind of the beauty of it.
Hey, this show is exactly why my daughter, my number 2, I got her brother this Justice League book, but it was like drawn like Imaginext figures.
Oh, cool.
And we're looking at it and she's like, "Who's that?" I was like, "That's Green Lantern." And she's like, "No, it's not. He's white."
Oh, ha.
Because in the book, it was Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. But
Oh,
she had only
yeah.
watched this. So in her mind, what's his name just escaped me. John Stewart is Green Lantern. So it's just so funny. She's like, "Why is he white?" It's like, "Oh, this is a different Green Lantern." Because this is what she looked, she expected. So I thought that was very cool. That these shows that this is where they go, which is again, I've mentioned it before. Of I don't understand why you just didn't use John Stewart Green Lantern in the Justice League instead of Cyborg, but that's something Jeff Johns and I have to talk about whenever I meet him.
Yeah, but that's something that we'll talk about when James Gunn hires us to write for the DCEU. Inevitably, once he hears our episodes, he'll hire us. Yeah,
I think that's exactly after he gets the Ayer cut done, we're in.
exactly. So yeah, those are the episodes. Those are the like 9 episodes, I think, total. That we think are kind of the chef kiss of, if you want to get into the Justice League cartoon, check out these 5 episodes. I mean, ultimately, you should just watch the whole show, period. But if you needed just a few ideas, these are the ones we think you should go for in no particular order. I'm sure we left out some people's favorites. I'm sure those people can get over it because they can just go watch their own, or let us know. Let us know on Twitter. Let us know on the Google form that we have pinned on our Twitter feed. Or Matt, there's somewhere else they can let us know as well.
www.facebook.com/group/fanboy junction with a K.
And you can also find me on Twitter at Mr. Mike Shea.
And you can find me on Twitter as Mr. J Ninja.
We always want to hear from you guys. We love to hear from you. Send us in some comments, send us in some episode ideas of things you want us to cover. Make sure it's Batman DC related, and we'd be happy to do it. And until next time, we'll see you guys again on another episode of We Are the Batman. Same bat time, same bat podcast channel.
See you later.